Ganesh Bhagavan ki jai. All will stand as we join together and sing in the arti. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Om Jaya Ganapati Deva. Prabhu Jaya Ganapati Deva. Vigana Vinashana Swami. Vigana Vinashana Swami. Sukha Sampati Deva. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Parvati Putra Kahavo. Shankar Sutta Swami. Prabhu Shankar Sutta Swami. Gajananda Gananayak. Gajananda Gananayak. Bhaktanayanugami. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Vedi Sedi Ke Malik Moshakaya Savari. Prabhu Moshakaya Savari. Kare Jore Vinati Kare. Kare Jore Vinati Kare. Ananda Yusavari. Om Jai Prathama Aapko Puja Shubha Mangal Data. Prabhu Shubha Mangal Data. Siddhi hoye sab karan. Siddhi hoye sab karan. Daridra hat jata. Om Jai Sunda Sundala Dunda Dundala Mastaka Parachanda. Prabhu Mastaka Parachanda. Karaj Siddha Karavo. Karo Karavo. Kato Sab Panda. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Ganapati Deki Aarati jo koi nar gaave. Prabhu jo koi nar gaave. Dadu Kaka Bhavati. Dadu Kaka Bhavati. Nishadina Sukha Pavai. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Prabhu Jai Ganapati Deva. Vigana Vinashana Swami. Vigana Vinashana Swami. Sukha Sampati Deva. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Om Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva. Tvameva Bandhushta Sakha Tvameva. Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva. Tvameva Sarva Mam Deva Deva. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Bolo Shri Ganesh Bhagavan ki jai. Umapati Mahadev ki jai. Siyapati Ramachandra ki jai. Jagat Janani Shri Durga Mata ki jai. Bolo Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Devotees, you may kindly take your seats. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Narayanang namaskrityang naramachaiva narutamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Devotees, once again we all gathered here tonight to worship the Supreme Brahm in the form of Shri Ganesh. Before I commence reciting the Katha, we'll ask each and everyone to try to picture that beautiful form of Lord Ganesh in your minds as we chant these verses which are dedicated to his worship. Om Asumukashte Kadantashta Kapilo Gajakarnaka Lambodarashta Bikato Bigananasho Binayaka Dumraketur Ganajaksho Balachandro Gajanana Dwadashaitani Namani Yapati Trinno Yadapi Vidyarambe Vivahe Cha Praveshe Nirgami Tata Sangrami Sankati Chaiva Viganatasya Najayate Shuklam Varadaram Devam Shashivaranam Jaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayit Sarva Vigno Pashandaye Abhipsitartha Siddhyartha Pujito Yasura Surai Sarva Viganarastasmai Ganadipataye Nama Shivatane Varishtama Sarva Kalyana Murati Parashu Kamalahastama Shobitam Modakina Arun Kosumamala Vyalayagyupavitam Mama Hriday Nivasam Shri Ganesham Namami Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Sudaya Mama Prabha Aviganam Kurumideva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Biganeshwarai Varadai Surapriyaya Lambodarai Sakalai Jagaditai Nagananai Shruti Yagya Vibhushitaya Gauri Sutai Gananat Namo Namaste Bhaktarti Nashana Parayai Ganeshwaraya Sarveshwarai Shubhadai Sureshwarai Vidyadarai Vikatai Chavamanaya Bhaktya Prasanvaradai Namo Namaste Namaste Brahmarupaya Vishnurupaya Te Nama Namaste Rudrarupaya Karirupaya Te Nama Vishwarupa Swarupaya Namaste Brahmacharine Bhakti Priyaya Devaya Namastubhyam Vinayaka Lambodaranamastubhyam Satatam Modaka Priya Niraviganam Kuru Medeva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Avahanam Najanami Tavarchanam Pujamachaiva Najanami Kshamasveti Ganeshwara. Bolo Shri Ganeshanda Bhagavan Ki Jai. Those who were present last night would recall we stopped where Lord Ganesh, in explaining the Gita to Raja Varenya, was explaining the importance of Yagya and what you do in the Yagya. That in the end, you liberate yourself from the cycle of birth and death. We begin tonight where Lord Ganesh says, Shrotasamatani karamani palamane chan sadachare Shastra Sayogi Rajendra Akriyadyo Samashritaha. Sanatan Dharma is supported by two things. One, the scriptures, and two, the law books. Scriptures and the law books. Scriptures we have in abundance. 4 Vedas, 6 Shastras, 200 Upanishads, 18 Puranas, 18 Upapuranas, 2 Itihas, and 2 Granth. That's the amount of books we have. No human being in his lifetime going to read it. The man who write it never read it. And then you have 3 law books. One is called the Dharma Sindhu, one is called the Nirnay Sindhu, and one is called the Manusmriti. Oh, that we read. So those are the scriptures and the law books of Sanatana Dharma. He says to Rajavarenya, Shrotasma tani karmani. When you read these books concerning what is called karma, palamane chan samacharit, and not having the desire for the fruits of the karma you perform, then Shastrana Yogi Rajendra Akriyadyo Samashritaha. You follow the law books. You engage yourself in the performance of karma. He says such a yogi is Shastra. Shastra means to become very intelligent. And because of his knowledge, he becomes an intelligent karma sannyas. O king. Anashrita karma palam karya karma karoti yaha sasanyasi cha yogi cha narik agnena chakriyaha. When you perform the duty or the karma without seeking the rewards for what you do, such an individual becomes the highest. Not the person who sits down and lights fire and does hawan. That's supposed to make you the carry to the top. But the man who performs the karma seeking no reward goes higher than that. Yoga prapte mahabaho hetur karameva me matam siddhi yoga syatama sedyai hetu shammadamo mataha. But I will explain to you, according to me, my law, that hetu karma sami matam, karma is the greatest gift that God has given the universe. The ability to do things, to accomplish things. That is karma. He says, but siddho gamya sam siddho, the performance of karma will give you success. But to get success, hetu sham damo matao, you must have peace and you must have the ability to accomplish what you set about to do. You know, like there's no water in the country. And you have one of these machines that telling you where water is. So you buy one of the machines and you find water. Well, they're telling you where the water is. But you dig 4 feet and you don't find water. So you go in an export. And you dig 6 feet and you don't find water. And you go in the next spot, and you dig 8 feet and you don't get water. You go in the next spot and you dig 10 feet and you don't get water. You go in the next spot and you dig 12 feet and you find water. So when you add up 4 and 6, 10 and 8, 18 and 10 is 28 feet. Before you reach 12 feet, you dig 28 feet. I mean, how foolish you could be. Stay one place and dig 28 feet now, man. Stay one place and dig 28 feet. Don't move all over the place. You won't get any. So he says, you must have the peace of mind. You must have the stamina to accomplish what you set about to do. That's the problem in the world. There are projects hang up all over the world. Aruroksho manera yogam karma karana mochate yoga rodasya tasyaiva shamakarana yamrechate. Karma yogi, according to the law, is the means by which karma is performed selflessly. That is karma yogi. Not with an ulterior motive. You must be free from the desire that you want to accomplish something because of this. That desire to accomplish something from this will make you lose everything that you were set about to accomplish. So you lose before you start because of that desire. Indiyartashta sankalpa kuravana swasri puvarar bhavit etateni chanya kuravan siddhamayogi cha sedayat. And if you could control your senses, and perform the karma with a controlled mind, everything will be accomplished. But if you perform karma, kurvana swasri punara bhavit, with an ulterior motive, then you become your own enemy. And when you become your own enemy, you destroy yourself. And then in the end, you ask yourself, Etana na chinan na kuravan, where did I go wrong? I have gone wrong because I listened to Shastri and he gave me advice. So you blame everybody else for the problem. This is not a blame game. People need to understand this life is not a blame game. Life is as a result of something we have done in the past. You're lucky you end up here. You have the opportunity, Siddhama yogi cha siddhayat, to become a great yogi. Grab the opportunity. Yadahi nendiyarteshu nakarama swanu sanjate sarva sankalpa sanyasi yoga rudastadochate. To achieve anything in this world, it's about a self-sacrifice. You understand? Let me tell you something. One of the greatest musicians in the world, I'll tell you who he is after. He plays every single instrument. Every single instrument that exists in the world today, he plays it. But because of his size, he was big like this in Gaza. His wife dumped him. He dumped him. That he's a non-entity, he's a nobody. And he sat down behind a piano. Right? And just one with a cup of coffee in his hand and he's just picking notes. And while picking notes, words come to his head. And he was ambidextrous. So he could play with the right hand and write with the left hand. He could play with the left hand and write with the right hand. And he started to write these words. Real mumble jumble. It was totally mixed up. Call it an act of God. Call it a divine inspiration. Or call it the man's ability. Call it what you want. He readjusted the words. And he made one of the biggest hits in the world. That song made him a multi-millionaire. Kabhi to nazar milao, kabhi to kareeb aao, na jo nahi kaha hai. That song, Kabhi to Nazar, Adnan Sami, made him a multi-millionaire. And then his wife said she made a mistake. He said, well, the problem with the mistake you have made, you end up living in Pakistan, and my birthday is the 15th of August, so I have applied for Indian citizenship. Right? You have to have that patience. You have to have the ability. And you have to have something behind you that nobody sees. That is called the driving force. Somebody has to keep pushing your faith, pushing your faith. And when that push comes, you don't retaliate. You just go with it. You go with it. That sarva sankalpa sanyasi, roga dodasya dochate. And then, you could only attain this when you have no attachment to your senses, to your ability. What are you going to do with this, all this money, all this kind of thing? You know what I mean? Once you attach to that, you're gone, you know. You're gone. Sudrityate charipate cha udvare cha veya bandane Atmaneva atmano hyatma natma bhavati yakashanaha. The soul that exists in you is for your protection. No, you have to protect it. You are the custodian of the soul in you. So I said that one night in a Yagya, and somebody challenged me on that. If the soul is always free, how could you be the custodian of the soul? Right. The soul is always free, yes. But once it is in your body, you are the custodian. And when you cannot be the custodian, he leaves you and go on to another body. You understand? So you are the one who makes the soul your friend, and you are the one who makes him your enemy. Either it uplifts you or it binds you to bondage. Atma naivatmano hyatma. One who is released from bondage is his friend. And the one who becomes bandhan, an enemy, he falls into this pit of birth and death all the time. All the time. As he come out the well, he jump back in the same well. Take a deep breath and he jump back in. That is a person who lives in bondage. But I say to you, natmana bhavati kashtanaha. Do not blame anybody for this. Because of you are in the problem I am. You understand? No. No. If I am sick, and I go to a doctor who now come out of medical school, and he give me a bad injection, you blame the doctor for that? He looking for a guinea pig to practice on, and you just happen to fall in there. You understand? Because your love for money is so much that you want to save the money and go by a quack and expect the quack to give you top-of-the-line medication. That ain't going to happen, my friend. Don't ever believe that's going to happen. So no one is responsible but you. Bandhuratma manatasya yenatmaivatmana jitaha anatmanastu shatrutve varatitatmaiva shatruvan. When the human being understands that he has the ability to spiritually uplift himself, you have to realize that, that ain't going to happen. That it fall on your lap. That ain't going to happen. The day you realize you could spiritually uplift yourself from the bondage of birth and death, you are your own friend. Other than that, your whole life will be spent. Atmanastuna shatreva. Your whole life will be spent in enmity with yourself. You fight with yourself. You fight with everybody. Varatamatma in a shatruvat. Such an individual is an enemy of his own self. Manapamana dukhecha sukhe modreta sadushu mitra mitre pyadasine deshe loshte nakangshani. Man upaman. You have people who seek honor. You have people who will do things and become dishonored. As you go through the journey of life, you will have happy moments. Whatever you call happiness. And then you will have moments that is called moments of distress. You will meet people in life who are devotees of God, whether it's real or show business. How are you going to judge them? Right. And then you have atheists. No matter what you do, he and believe in God. In life, mitra apyadasine. You come across people who are friends. And you will meet people for no reason they are enemies. Dveshya loshte nakangshanaha. Patience is a quality. Enmity is a quality. Look at all of that. In both hands, you hold a handful of sand and a handful of gold. Jitayatmana prasantasya Paramatma samahitaha Shetoshan sukadokeshu tatamano pamanayo. All those things I just described to you. Honor, dishonor, happiness, distress, devotee, atheist, friend, enemy, patience, enmity, dirt, goal. All those things means nothing to a person, jitayatmana prashantasya, who has uplifted himself. Those things mean nothing. Mm-hmm. The man who built the Golden Temple in India, that was built by one man, from foundation to finish, And the day he finished it, about a week after he died. And he gave it to the community, say, all fix up. And they put a monetary value to the Golden Temple. Experts put a monetary value to it. And they run out of noughts. They run out of zeros. Right? When India was divided, a guy named Attlee, who was the Prime Minister in England, made a statement that if we cannot have India, we are going to destroy it. So when he cut the Doran line, the Golden Temple fell in Pakistan. And for some strange reason, Mountbatten told him, you have started a war for 60,000 people who are going to wipe out the world. You do not understand how the Sikh does think. They will wipe out the world, rub off that line and draw it back correct. You understand? You don't know what you're doing. That is the nature of the human being. Anything that he cannot possess, he destroys. He mashes it up. Nobody must benefit from it. So in the same way, when you have that jitayatmana prashantasya, when you have the ability, or you have worked on the ability to control the mind, to control the senses, Paramatma samahitaha, Paramatma, the Supreme Soul. The Supreme Soul becomes samahita. Samahita means it's very close to you. Just hold on to it now. Shitoshan sukadukeshu. In life, there will always be happiness. There will always be sorrow. There will always be desires. The Bhagavad Gita says that the greatest accomplishment of the human being is to be able to resist the temptation to do evil. So evil always exists. But that don't mean, you understand? You must go and do something stupid. You think I'm not tempted to do stupid things in life? Of course I am. There are some people next to me when they put on a music box all over the day, all over the night. They banging that till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Right? With no mercy. Go over very nice and tell the fellow, slow it down. I have no problem you playing that music, but slow it down. I can't tell he what to do. I said, well, that's a different level you want to carry. So go back with a baseball bat and let me decide who right and who wrong. You understand? One of these days I go use it. You know why? It's a simple reason. That you keep calling the authorities. I called the police 42 times one night, 42 times, When I went to the station at time, I called 42 times, the time I died not true. I went in Tiente and get a printout for them. I said, look at you. 42 times. You tell me what to do now. I depend on all you. All tell me what to do. He said, well, people have rights. I said, but I have rights too. He alone has no rights. Only to realize the man you're reporting it to is he brother who running the place. So you're up against it all how? You understand? So the ability, shitoshan sukadukeshu, to resist that temptation to do evil. If you could resist that, and if you could resist what is called the pair of opposites, tata mana pamana yo, heat and cold, honor, dishonor, resist them things. Samojitatma vigyani gyani driya jaya yavaha abhyase chatatama yogam yada yokto tamohisaha. You have to control your intellect because your mind could really carry you all over the world that you don't want to go. Control the intellect because you are the only creature on the planet that has that. There is no other creature have an intellect. None. Conquer the senses. You be in control of it. He says such an intelligent person who has the intellect and the senses under control will have the soul under control. You could direct where you want the soul go from there. That's the kind of power these fellas have. And yet, abhyased satatama yogam. Yet, these people have that ability and still perform karma. In the shortest span of time, right? In terms of years, one man has written the most books on Sanatana Dharma than anybody else. A fellow named Swami Shivananda. He has written more books in the shortest space of time. He used to write a book in a day. Complete book. When it's carried by the publisher. Never found a mistake. And he wrote hundreds of books. This man was a medical doctor. He was born in a palace. Not a house, in a palace. So he born in wealth. He went and do medicine. And they transferred him to Malaysia. That was the posting. And he was working in what we call a health center. And he says every day people come in sick. And yet medicine can't cure them. So something is wrong with them. So he resigned his job as a doctor. Went up in the Himalayas. And became Swami Shivananda. He says this is the answer. And he is the one. He was the first man to put a translation to what is called the Mahamrityunjay mantra. Trambakam Yajam. He's the first person to put a translation to it. Now the scholars decide to analyze what he has done. They try to change the translation. Can't touch it. Cannot touch it. You understand? Some people just have this divine gift to do things. So when you are able to do that, yada yukto tamo hisaha, by your own accomplishment, you become a yogi. When you become a yogi, jnana vijnana triptatma kotasto vijitendriya yukta it yujjate yogi samalotashmakangshanaha. The one who becomes a jnani, who has the knowledge. You have people who have the knowledge. There was a Swami called Paramahansa Yogananda. One day he and the guru was in a buggy, in the back seat. But the guru was on the way out. He was going to die. So Yogananda asked him, will you have to pick somebody to lead what is called the mat? They call it the ashram. The most knowledgeable of them was Paramahansa. Don't let nobody fool you. He was a genius from birth. And the guru tell him that if you think I'm going to pick you, you are totally wrong. I wouldn't pick you. He says, who are you going to pick? He said, I'm going to pick the guy who drives in the buggy. He was also a Swami. He said, but why would you pick he? Like a man that smoke, he aggressive. All the things that you don't need, he had it. He said, but he doesn't have responsibility. He has all the bad habits you say he have, but he doesn't have responsibility. So when I give him the responsibility, you will see the change. He says, so what is my purpose? So your purpose is to live in there and perform the greatest miracle that the world has ever seen. You see what that miracle is? See, you'll find out for yourself. The day the guru died, the next day, he boarded a ship and went to Los Angeles and founded one of the biggest ashrams in the world. Self-realization thing. Big, big, big. They're big. And one day somebody asked him, what is his life mission? He said his guru tell him, read Autobiography of a Yogi. His guru told him that he will perform the greatest miracle, one that has never been seen before. And none will ever see it again. They say, well, where's that miracle? He said, even I don't know. Even I don't know. Until the day he died. He died on 4th of July, Independence Day in America. That day, cockroach can't walk on the road. It has space. So when they called the undertaker to come and move the body, it took 9 hours for the undertaker to reach in that traffic. And he was lying on right where he died, on a slab. And the first thing that shocked the undertaker is that the body never started to decay. He was like he's sleeping. So they took the body and they carried it to their place. And then the ashram tell them, do not perform an autopsy because they know the cause of death. And do not embalm the body. Right? Then they got a message from India to ship the body back to India. In those days, it took a long time. So the body was placed on the deck of the boat from England to India. Never decomposed. That was the greatest miracle. That a man died and the body never rot. So sometimes you have to die to prove your point. You understand? I don't mean to kill it. No, I don't mean that how you're crazy or what. So in death, he has proven the power of the soul. In death, he has proven it. They have pictures of the dead body circulating. If you look at it, you could swear the man sleeping. No signs of death. So this is what he says. When you could control that intellect, when you could conquer the senses, you could conquer the soul. You could determine when it leaves you. And when you could do that, that is what a yogi is. That is his accomplishment. Then jnana vijnana triptatma. The jnani, the one who is called the jnani, who has his senses under control, samalo tashmakankshanaha. That person is a God-realized yogi. The yogi is a man of jnana, knowledge. And yogi who realizes God becomes a Vigyan. He knows the science behind the knowledge of God. And it are people who live their whole life just trying to accomplish that. Ramakrishna was one. The man they call Ramakrishna who couldn't read and write. He couldn't read and write his own name. And yet he achieved the highest form. Somebody went to the ashram and said they want to learn to control the mind. Ramakrishna said, come back next week. When the fellow went back next week, he said, where you come for? He said, to control the mind. He said, oh, I forget you, man. Come back next week. And he do the fellow that for about 4 months. And when he get fed up, he was hoping the fellow don't come back. But some people just don't want to tell you to leave. You understand? You just have to read between the lines. That day, the fellow trip him off. He said, listen to me. Let me explain something to you. You can't control your bowel movement. You want to control your mind? What do you think your mind is? You understand? You think your mind is something you could just hold it and put it in a bottle and shake it up? It don't work so. This is a lifelong process. This is not something you're going to start one morning and feel, you take 4 deep breaths and you're feeling good, so you say, that's pranayam. Yeah. Gilligan Island have plenty of people like that. Tata shanta vyakakolo kshoddate vyagrahatraka kale tete yata tushna vanilanya namakule. He says, in a place where there is plenty heat, place hot. Come here any day before lunch and see how hot here does be. That galvanized heat beating down. A place that is too quiet. Something wrong in a place that's too quiet. Where you are restless. If you go to a place and you are restless. Where people are always hungry. In a place where there is corruption. Oh God, well, that had to be Trinidad. That had to be. But then we could make an excuse for that. In a place where there is too much cold. So that is not Trinidad. A place where there is excessive fire. A place where the wind is very high. Legnya Vasunamakuli, a place where there is excessive water. You could imagine the desert flood the other day. What them scientists do to screw it up, boy? The desert flood? That had to be a joke. I tried to figure that out all how. I watched the videos. I knew people who were there when it happened. Right? This had to be a joke. Sadhana vati jeranego stane sagnau jalantike kupakule yashamshane cha nadyam vittau cha maramari. A place where there is too much noise. See why I don't do wedding? Too much noise. See why I stopped doing funeral? Too much noise. I competing with a music truck boy. Are you crazy? My heart is beating my foot when I hear that truck jamming that. If the dead man could have really hear that, but he'd get up and dance. A place where there is confusion. Everything end up in a bacchanal. That's a rum shop. Near fire. Too close to water. Near a well. And then the magic place, Shamshan. Where's Shamshan? Cemetery. Cremation ground. Too close to the sea. A place that is abandoned. Abandoned building. Chaitesa bilmaki deshe Pishachadi samabrite Nabhyasodyo savidyogam Yogo dhyana parayana. A place where animals are sacrificed. It's a man doing it. But you living, man. I watched one on YouTube this morning. I don't know how it crop up. And the fella spread a nice sheet on top of the goat. Boy. This goat lying on the back with the 4 foot up in the air. And they spread a sheet on top of it, a white sheet. And the fella TK in this poya. I say I really good and see this. Let me see if this is really a joke. What joke you telling me about? Whole sheet get red, man. One lash. Right? And everybody started to get Shakti and drop down and all kind of thing. Crazy. Crazy. You care what you tell me? That is madness. In New York one day somebody tell me they have a Kali temple and they want me to go. I said, sure, let me go, man. Fella hold the fowl and he ringing it. The head in the hand and the body fly through the window. I said, that is action. And this lady get real Shakti. If you see Shakti, boy, the way she had to jump, I get frightened. And she telling everybody in the audience, beat me. I tell them, boy, give me the belt now, boy. Just trust me and give me the belt. The amount of licks I would have put on she that day, man, they did lock me up in New York. I'd have beat you to a frazzle because I beat you with the buckle end. Right? Well, I know one fella who tell me he went and test out this thing walking on fire. I say, you can't be so dotish. I went in the hospital and see him. They cut out his 2 foot, you know. He didn't know he had sugar. When he walked on the fire, the burn it do. It damaged his 2 foot. They cut it out from just below his knee. I say, boy, Kali thing didn't work. Well, yeah, it worked. When you know how to walk again, you could just wheel yourself around. You understand? Stop catching them foolishness. Them things don't work, my friend. Don't let nobody tell you. Go and read the Durga Saptashati. Read the 13th chapter of the Durga Saptashati. It tells you when you do that kind of puja, it wants blood. And the blood it wants is human blood, your own blood. Where you must slash your hand open and bathe the murti with that blood. Allow the blood to dry on the murti. And then you submerge that murti. By that time, you know how long that will take to happen? By that time, you're going to bleed to death, you idiot. You're going to bleed to death. Don't get caught in them kind of stupidness. A place where lives are taken. A place where Pishatna. Swalmina Deshe. Swalmina Deshe means like an anthill. Where ants build, you know, and some countries that ants build big nests. Don't go near them place. Pishachadi Samabrite, a place that had zombie. Don't go there. Such places, Nabhyase dosa vidyagam. Those are not places to study about God. Those are places to keep far. Discard those places. Yogo dhyana parayana. Keep far from those places. Smriti lopa shamukatvam vadiraya mandata jvara jara jayate sadyo dosho gyanva dvijoginaha. When you lose the teachings of the law book, this is one of the law book, the Gita. It says the scripture and the law books. The Gita says that anything you have to do in this world, anything, tasma shastram pramanamate karya karya vyavastito gyatva shastra vidanoktam karama karatumarahasi. Let the scriptures be your guide. Let it tell you what to do and what not to do. And then you decide what you're going to do. So if you read what is right and you're still doing what is wrong, you fix up. Let the scriptures guide you. That is why I've always said, this foolishness about 2-night yagya and 3-night yagya and all this kind of stupidness, that have nothing to offer you. Nothing, absolutely nothing. The Gita says you're wasting time and energy. Bhagavad Gita Mahatam says that. You're wasting your time and you're wasting your energy. You will get nothing for it. So when you go by Jamraj and say, well, I had a 3-night, he say, yeah, you don't enjoy the fruit of that. You know, there's a standing joke we have about that. Eh? When we were studying Panditai, we have a standing joke on that. This fellow was a sow. You know, he's a sow, right? Very cheap. Real cheap. So you have a cow. Get 14 young ones from the cow. Make good money. So time for the cow to dead. He call a Pandit, he do a puja, and he don't carry the cow. So he had to bury the cow when the cow dead. He go save that money. The cow lived 3 hours and dead. So when he died, he went to hell. So Jamra said, boy, your whole life you do nothing good, boy? Nothing you do good, boy? Oh yes, I see you do a Gita puja and you don't carry a cow. But the cow lived 3 hours. So before I punish you, I'll give you the cow for 3 hours. Like carry anywhere in the world you want to go. He said, no problem. So he jumped on the cow back, tell the cow, Brahma look. He went by Brahma. And he and Brahma had a fantastic conversation for about an hour. And the cow tell him time to go. He said, well, I don't see Brahma already. Let me go by Shiva. So he went by Kailash. Spent an hour with Shiva. Cow tell him time to go. He carried me by Vishnu. He went by Vishnu and he spent a whole hour. Real chat and thing, man. Tell Vishnu you want a cup of milk to drink. Vishnu said, living in the ocean of milk, man. Just take a cup and dip, man. Drink your belly full. End up back by Jamraj. And Jamraj pull up the big book to write down in it. Raymond Rampasad. Where you going from there? He said, hold on, don't write yet. He said, why? He said, I want you to write in that book. I am the only man who come here, who see Brahma, who see Vishnu, who see Shiva, and still gone to hell. Write that in the book. You understand? Do not discard the laws. The laws are there for a reason. You may not like the law. You may not agree. There have a lot of things in the law book I read I don't agree with. Right? But I didn't write it. Until you are able to go into the mind of the writer, you will never understand why that law exists. You will never understand it. He says, when you abandon the teachings of the law book, regardless of the yagya that you do, you will always remain dumb and ignorant. So if I tell a fellow he's dumb, don't vex with me. He do that to be remain so. You will always be ignorant. You will always be sickly. And through that ignorance destroys the man on the path of yoga. This is why I told you earlier, follow the 3 law books. Dharma Sindhu, Nirnay Sindhu, Manusmriti. and cross-reference them. Cross-reference them. One is Nirnay Sindhu. Nirnay means what? Boundless. The ocean of boundless laws. Dharma Sindhu, the ocean of dharma. And Manusmriti, the laws of Manu. You read the laws of Manu alone, you get weak. Ete dosho pare tyajya yogo vyasana shalina anadarehi chaitesham smriti lopo dayadruvam. Practice yoga. All the faults that you have, by the practice of yoga, those faults would leave you. You cannot achieve anything in this life and then become lazy. You would lose it. You would lose it. You would lose the teachings of the sacred texts. And for this reason, I say to you, there are certain places you should not be in. If you go to those places, whatever knowledge you have, you will lose it in those places. Don't go. Keep out of them places. Neta bunjan sada yogi na bujan nati nadritaha nati jagrati siddhamati bhopayogam sadabhyasan. When a yogi sits to eat, he eats very little. It's amazing how much he does eat. I mean, I had contact with one or two of them in New York. The man eats a complete meal that fits in a tablespoon. His complete meal fits in a tablespoon. Right? He tell me one night in the Yagya, he tell me, say, you're a healthy man, you eat, man, I'll feed you. He put in by the basin full in my leaf, man. I say, well, where you eating? He said, I will sit down with you and eat, man. Okay? 1 tablespoon of food. That had everything on it. A few grain of rice, a little bit of dal, a little piece of okra, a little piece of this, a little piece, everything. What he eat more than that was a half a lime. When he finished eat that one mouthful of food, he squeezed the lime in his spoon and he drink that and he drink a glass of water. He said, good until tomorrow again. I said, really? He said, are you serious? I really good. I said, okay. Enjoy yourself. You understand? They eat very little. They don't eat to live. They eat just for the stomach not to get trouble. But, na bunjanati anadritaha, they do not abstain from eating. They sleep very little, but they do not abstain from sleep. One day, I come in the bedroom and see what it look like. I say, sure, man. You have a little stool with a lamp on it and a dhoti spread on the ground. That's the bed. I say, you really trying to see God? Or you trying to make me hate God? Which one you trying? You understand? That's the man bed in the middle of winter, you know. And that man there in a mountain in Connecticut, a place called Wilton. You know, man, you have on shoes in your foot and it's freezing. And he comfortable inside the boy. Very comfortable. One night they were doing the rotary. So he said, take a shower and let me start. I said, sure, man. With the bathroom, he said, use mine. He give me the key. I said, use mine. I said, sure, man. Open the bathroom and I go in, man. When I open it, I say, but wait, this tap has no H on it. It only have C. You understand? It's cold water. I say, these fellas really crazy, boy. So you know what? And it's from here I learned. There's a science behind it. And the science is, take a handful of the cold water. Fill your mouth with it. As much as your mouth could hold. Do not swallow it. And play with it in your mouth. Until you feel the water get hot. When you feel that water get hot, open the pipe and stand up below the shower and then spit it out. You feel the water warm. I do it, man. I must know. Right? But if you're going to do that for a living, absolutely not. Brave is one thing. I've always said that. Stupid is something else. You understand? Them fellas live a rough life. They may look normal, they may look nice, but they live a very rough life. Right? And why do they do that? That is so simply because Bhopa Yogam Sadabhyam Raha, to accomplish the siddhis, that when you come to them with a problem, they could solve it for you. That is why they do those things. They ain't doing it for no fame and glory. There's no fame and glory in it. Nati bunjat sada yogi, na bunjan nati nadrita, nati jagra siddhe meti bhupa yogam sadabhyasan. They will attain everything that they want to achieve for the benefit of humanity. They don't have anything. He went to St. John's University. St. John's University is one of the top universities in the world. Not in America, in the world. He is the chaplain, the priest, for every Hindu who ends up in a hospital in the state of New York. He is the chaplain. No pundit could go. If you go to the hospital in New York as a patient, and I had to come and pray for you, before I come there, they must get his approval. That's how big the man is. And he's small so. You understand? There's no financial benefit in it. He has an old car, real old car, with one door. The other door fall out and they weld it up. So it's only he door it has. So he alone will be in that car. When he has to leave the mandir, somebody will give him $20 or $10 to put gas. You understand? And he will go and come back. That's how he lives. Whole life he lives like that. Natmana jasto yogasti nachaikanta nanashnata nachati swapanashilasya jagrato naivacha arjunaha. This yoga is not for a person who eats too much. It is not for a person who eats too little. It is not for a person who sleeps too much. And it is not for a person who trying to wake all the time. Sansalkalpa jana jakaman niyatahara jagara niyamya khaganamabodhya bitamate yashanay shunay. Discard the desire to accomplish things. If you had accomplished it, you will accomplish it. I'll give you a joke. The last time I was there in America was 2016. So they had a Yagya coming up. Big year. They invited a Swami from India to come. So he sent them a message, he come in. The day he was supposed to leave India, like he's supposed to leave India in the night. The morning, which was in Orlando, they had a shooting where a fella went into a gay bar and he blasted from a side. He killed about 30-something people. So that made world news immediately. So he see that on YouTube, the Swami fella. The yag starting tomorrow. So he flying from New Delhi to Orlando. And from Orlando to New Jersey. And from New Jersey, he drives to Connecticut. So when he see that, he sent a message for them. He said, that country crazy, they're killing people like fowl. He ain't coming. So the Swami says, well, we have a problem. We don't print handbill and invite hundreds of people. They can't find a pundit to read. So he called me anytime. He said, what are you doing tomorrow? I said, my yag finishing tonight. He said, but tomorrow what are you doing? I said, nothing. He said, I have a yag for you. Come and read. It's okay. So I went early. And that big argument going on there. But why he want me to read the yag? I'm not even Indian. And I listened to all them fellas talk this stupidness in Hindi. Right? They say he's a smoke, he's aggressive. All kind of stupid thing they say. So they cancel the yag by 2 days. And they send it. Well, they have the yag going on in the day. 6 daylights and 3 nights. 9 nights. So 9 days. So the Swami tell me, come and paint the mandir for him. I said, sure, man. Come and paint the whole mandir for him. So I making noise too bad. I aggressive. I making noise and painting. And this lady from India coming, she watch me from head to foot, and she gone in the mandir. She do she puja and thing, and she come out with a big tariya parsad. But if you see parsad, I say, if that lady only make that mistake and put on that by me, I'll mash it up. So somebody tells you to give me somebody parsad. I paint in the mandir. She said, no, he's a Mexican. Mexican parsad na khate hai. Mexican do eat parsad. I said, okay, cool. Me tell she nothing. I put on the paintbrush and I leave. Go on home, bathe, change my clothes, and I come back to read in the night now. When I hit the singhasan, she was the shrota for the night. I said, lady, I have good news for you and bad news for you. The good news, I depend it. The bad news is, I'm not a Mexican. You have it wrong. You judge me wrong. So don't even entertain the thought that I'm going to eat the food that you cook today. Do not entertain the thought that the dakshina you give me, I will come. I do 40 years in New York for not a single cent, my friend. Not one. 40. I am not tempted by US money. I could make enough US money without puja. I know how to make money. You understand? That is the mistake people make. And here the Gita is saying, Bopa yogam sadabhyasan. When you acquire these things, it is for everybody else must benefit. I have always said that. That is my crowning glory in this lifetime. To sit down in a mandir in Connecticut, where the only two languages spoken is Awadhi and Gujarati. Nobody there knew English. The only man who knew English a little bit was the Swami. So I have to read a yag in Sanskrit, translate it in Hindi, right? And then break it up in English so they could understand it. I was in heaven, man. And I tell people that they laugh at me. There's a thing called the RCO. The RCO is 150 years old, that group. And they give an award every year, one award. For 150 years now they're doing it. And to get that award, two things must happen. You must be born in India, but you must not live in India. You're born in India and then you migrate. And you accomplish something miraculous. And they give you that award. I win the award. I wasn't born in India. You understand? The Swami insisted that I get it. When he saw the work that we're doing. You understand? He asked me a question one day that shocked me and I didn't have an answer to give him, you know. You see all the pundits in Trinidad just like you? I said, Swami, let me give you a piece of advice. I go buy the ticket for you. You come for Shivratri and you go see. Come now, man. Come. I go show you the kind of Hindu we have in Trinidad. You come. I said, don't even make that joke and come down here. You understand? So this perception, everything is about what I could do and what I could get and what I could do and what I could get. But the Swami, the total opposite. What he could achieve that the world could benefit. That is how he functions. Sankalpa jatate kaman niyataharaya jagara niyamya khaganamabudya viramate yashanay shanay. When they discard the desire to perform karma, they perform in karma, but they don't have the desire to do it. They do it for the love of doing it. They do it because it has to be done. Their life is spent niyatahara jagare. Jagare means very simple food. They eat very simple food. Them not going to eat like how we just sit down and eat. Better Indian belly bust than good food waste. You mad? You're not eating that. I'm not eating that. I carry some samosa for him one day. Pig samosa, boy. He said, I said, me. I said, sure, man. He said, sure. He break out a tip. A little piece so and eat it. I said, what are you going to do with the rest? He said, well, you eat. I said, well, you feel like the dustbin or? You understand? But see, what used to save me is all the slangs I drop on him. He couldn't understand what is meant by it. You understand? So I should get away with it. Eat very simple food. Their waking hours must not be wasted hours. Their sleeping hours are not wasted hours. Right? And when they sleep, Biramate Shanai Shanai, when they lie down there, you could swear they're dead. They don't shake, they don't move, them lie down right, they block on it. And bam, 3 hours time, back up again like normal. And go through the routine again. Normal, normal. He says simple food means food should not have onion, garlic. You should not eat red carrot, mushroom, and seasoning. Do we eat, right? Boiled food? Boiled food? You can't even boil food? I'm making joking. You had to be joking. Yuktahara viharasya yukta chetasya karmasu yukta swapana bodhaya yogo bhavati dukaha. To accomplish yoga, there are sacrifices that you have to make. You have to regulate your life. Let me explain something to you. If you're doing a bhagavad 3 times a day, you may use the toilet facilities, maybe Sunday. Maybe Sunday. But you will never use it again until the bhagavad finish. Because of the food you eat. The organs don't work that way. The organs slow down to suit that. So you find them fellas going for weeks and they never use the washroom. Never, never, never. You understand? So when you understand the science behind these things, it really, really could carry you on a journey that is a miraculous journey, you know. Sanatana Dharma is one of the most miraculous journeys you could ever take in this lifetime. I'm not telling you to be a Hindu, you know. I'm not talking Hinduism, you know. I'm talking Sanatana Dharma. If you follow the principles of Sanatana Dharma, it carries you on a journey as if you're in a rocket going to Mars, you know. Way beyond what you could think about. And all the things that you need to do are so simple that you can't believe that really, this could really do this to you. Want to lose 20 pounds? 7 days. Guarantee you 20 pounds. 20 pounds. I'm guaranteeing you that. And if you don't lose 20 pounds in 7 days, whatever your body weight is on the 7th day when you weigh yourself, I'll give you that amount in gold. If you're weighing 140 pounds, I'll give you 140 pounds of gold. You want to test me on it? Start tomorrow morning. When you get up and you brush your teeth and you bathe, wherever do, eat nothing that have salt in it. Drink nothing that have sugar in it. For 7 days. And 20 pounds at the end of the 7th day. 20 pounds. If you want to lose 20 pounds, it means you want to have 20 pounds. You lose 20 pounds. Every time I do a bhagavad, I lose 20 pounds. Easy like Sunday morning. Easy. So yuktahara bihadasya, yukta chetasya karmasu, yukta swapanabodasya yogo bhavati dukkasaha. You could accomplish everything that you want in this world, provided you know how to control food, how and when to perform karma, how and when to sleep, how and how much hours to wake. Those are the simple things. You do that alone and you can achieve what you want. If you stand up by the wall, when you finish stand up, when you go home, stand up by the wall. Jam your shoulder on the wall. Right? And try to push down the wall. Don't move your foot, eh? You just lean in and lean as hard as you could. And check from 1 to 25. And step 1 foot away from the wall and see what has happened. Your hand will automatically do so. You can't control it. It will move for itself. So imagine you put in pressure and it could do that. Imagine if you're in control now, what you could do. You understand? You're not in control when you do that. But now it says, regulate your food, regulate your karma, regulate your sleep, and everything falls in place. Tatas tata koshadate yatra yatra shugachati ditayatma vasham kurvan chetama chanchalamaditaha. When you are sleeping, the mind is waking. The mind don't sleep. And this is why you should have the ability to pull back the mind when it's in sleep. When you sleep, you have to pull it back. How you do that? That ain't possible. Oh yeah, it is. You have to do it before you go to sleep, not when you fall asleep. Say your prayers. People who say their prayers before they go to sleep, they don't dream no stupidness. They don't dream no stupidness. They sleep like they're dead. Right? Because that prayer has the power that when you fall asleep, the mind automatically keeps chanting that prayer. So it doesn't leave you. It stays with you. And having that patience, you pull it back. That control, you should have it. Why? Because chitamachanchalamadritaha, the mind is very unstable. Asanshayam mahabaho manodora nagraham chalam abhyasin tu kaunteya vairagena chagrihyate. The mind is very restless. The mind is difficult to control. Right? But the Gita says, vairagena chagrihyate. You could do it if you start to do it. If you try to do it. I always ask people a simple question. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You have to take one bite first. If you don't take no bite, you can't eat it. The same thing with cutting 2 tons of cane. 2 tons of cane is the finished product. You have to cut it one by one, my friend. Don't let nobody fool you. One by one. And if that cane is not burnt cane, it's pressure. As you grab it, everything stick on your hand. Like needle. You understand? Why you do that? Somebody else benefits from that. You understand? Somebody gets food on the table. A child gets books to go to school. Somebody else does benefit from it. That is what a yogi is. He does the hard work for everybody else to benefit. Evam kurvan sada yogi parane breti yamrechate vishwasmin najatmanam vishwam paramatmani kshate. When you develop the ability to do these things, you journey to the highest realm. That inner peace which you acquire, that inner peace will stay with you in this lifetime, and it will go with you into the next lifetime. Yanjanevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasa shantim nirvana paramam matasangasham sagacchati. But the Lord says, focus your mind on me. Let me take control of it. You're not in control of the life. You understand? Let me control it. I will not lead you astray. I could guarantee you, Shantim Nirvana Paramam, everlasting peace, supreme bliss. Those are the things I could give you. But if you don't make the effort to get it, it is not a china, it's not a gift. You ain't going to get this know-how. Yogena yumapeiti tamupe yahamadarat mochayami chamunchami tamahama sanatyajit. Accept the teachings of the scriptures. When you accept the teaching, do not discard God. Don't believe you're bigger than God. Are you crazy to go down that road? Those who do not discard me, I do not discard them. Mochoyami chamunchami. Whilst they are in this world, tamaham masanatyajit, I will liberate them whilst they are alive. That I could do that. I have the power to do that. Nobody else can do that for you. Nobody could do that for you. Sukhe sukhe tare dveshe kshadeetoshe samastrishi atma samyena bhutani swaragamamachana vetitaha. But you must look upon every life in this world as important as yours. I've always asked people a question. If you carry your child to school, and then you go to pick up the child, and when you reach in front of the school ain't over yet. You just go home and come back. You just wait. And while waiting, you see a break bottle in front of the school. What do you do with it? Why? Why you pick up that? Because somebody could get harmed by it. It mightn't be your child, but it could be somebody else's child. So you see the danger that the bottle presents. Right? And you move it to prevent that danger. That is karma. What you expect to get from that karma. That's what the Gita says. Perform your karma, do not accept any. Don't look for nothing in return. You might not benefit from the karma, but somebody else reaps the fruit of it. And if they reap the fruit of it, when you're going through the bush and you see somebody mango and you pick it, you have planned that. But how your freezer full with it? You understand? You know people eating that? You know people eating that? Plenty people. But you have planted. The man who planted didn't live long enough to get one. But somebody else benefits from it. That is what a yogi is. Sukhe sukhe tare dveshe kshudeetosha samatrishi atma samyena bhutani swaragamamacha navetitaha. When you spend your lifetime trying to find me, I will put myself in a position where you are going to recognize me. You will get the chance in this lifetime to recognize who I am. Jivana mukta sayogendra kevalam mayi sangata brahmadina cha devanam sabandyasya jagatrai. When you associate with God, you become liberated when you are alive. Those are the people who have the right to worship the Supreme Brahm. Brahmadina Chadevanam. They see that Supreme Brahm within themselves. They see all the devatas within themselves. Sambadhyasan Jagatraye. And they see the three worlds within themselves. You remember one time I did a Devi Bhagwat in Harbrajan Hill. First day I go in there in my life, when I reach in the yard, sit down in the kitchen in the back. So a fella tell me, Bob, you got to be real careful here. And I say, what? He said, when you see you start to bawl, Jayambe Gauri, people will start to shake down this man there. I say, you serious? Boy, my heart ain't going to kill me in here. I said, I could fix that, you know. He said, better than you. I said, okay. A friend who carry me. I said, when you go in the back of the man there, pick 5 blades of grass, 5 different kind of grass, 5 each, and bring it. Stinging nettles, all kind of thing he pick and bring it. I tell our old lady in the kitchen who making me tea, I say, grind that on the sill for me. Right? And put some sindoor in it. Congo pepper, I say, put some in it. Good pepper. But this thing come out like mortar when she finish with it. Take a big glass jug. I say, full it in it. When I hit this Singasan, I had sindoor in one container, saffron in one container. I say, throw it in there. Give me a piece of mango wood by from the far one, and I turn it up. I said, today we will see true devotees of God. When the arati start, those who are true devotees of God will drink this. Nobody ain't get Shakti, boy. Whole yag, nobody ain't get Shakti. They get Shakti when I leave the last night. I could get catching them stupidness. You understand? I could get catching that. Where you get Shakti and my God tell you, I had to give some of my money, you wait for that. Tell God, think bad, Baba Brooks. You are getting my money, boy. I'm not into them foolishness. Hanuman will come on you. You could handle what Hanuman is, boy. In this lifetime, you lie down on the ground and a man put a sack of cement on your chest. Hey, in less than a minute, Raymond, you'll be gapping for breath. You only throw away the cement and you throw the whole building too. You understand? Don't get catching this foolishness. Because to find me, you have to look at every life with an equal eye. Whether a person joyful or sad, whether there's enmity and hunger, peace, thirst, you recognize the Supreme. Jivana Mukta Sangendro, you become liberated when you are alive. You see everything in this whole universe. Yataya Shradaya Yuktasya Radhanamihati tabate cha tata kaman mayaiva vihitan hitan. Worshipping the devatas will only secure material benefits for you. You need material benefits in this world. Who don't want it? Tough luck. You understand? You need material benefits. Don't let the benefits rule you. That is the problem to start. The problem is not the house you're living in. I tell people I'm the last human in the world who living in a very comfortable house and never even build a full cub. You understand? I never built a full cub in my life. That's my karma. My father loved me, build a house and leave it for me. What am I do for that? Gateway? Why? I never opened the back door yet. When I tell people that they don't believe it, I've never opened the back door in the house. I have no reason to open the back door. You understand? I'm very comfortable in a small space. Once I have my books with me, I in heaven. Dvevido pitahi yogayam sambhavyo hiya sammata yatonta karanamadustam chanchalamaduggraham vibho. To accomplish what you say, O Lord Ganesh, this is not easy to do. What you asking me to do, you saying it simple, but it is simple. Chanchalam mimana krishan pramati balayavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayo rivasadushkaram. The mind is like the wind. It's stubborn. It's difficult. How you could control that? Yoni graha duragrasya manasa samprakalpaye gati yantra samadasman mokta sansriti chakrakat. Lord Ganesh says, it is very difficult to control the mind. Yes. But you have to try. If you don't try, that's when your problems start. Make the effort. Make the effort. People who went into Texaco as trainees, that are student school, you're going there as a 15, 16-year-old and they train you. You could have run the oil refinery in those days. But when you spend 15, 20 years inside there, you know what to do. You understand? When somebody come out of university with a degree, they know how to teach. You put them in a classroom, you get the dumbest children in front of them. They don't know what to do. But by constant practice, they get it right. You understand? And when they get it right, who benefits? Not the teacher. The student benefit. So that is what Lord Ganesh is saying. The ability you have, use the ability. And use the ability little by little. This world is like a net of entanglement. Everything could tangle you up in this world. Unravel it one by one. One by one. And when you unravel it, mukta sansriti chakrakat, you will release yourself from the bondage. Bishaye krachare tedo santoshta chakrakandridam janashtetum na shaknoti karamakilaicha sansritam. The senses are built on very strong foundations. Why? Because when a child born in the world, before the parent teach him to detach himself from the world, boy, don't worry with your mother, nah? This house is yours. And then the mother telling the next child, yeah, worry about your father. You worry about he and his stupidness. This house is yours. You understand? So the day you're dead, and your two sons stand up on the two sides of the box and none of them want to take part in your funeral, you want to know why? That is why. You do it. You do that to them. You understand? Teach them to detach themselves. Enjoy everything in the world, but don't be attached to it. Walk away. Walk away. And this is not for simple people. Simple people can't do that. These are elevated people. And how do you become elevated? By one step at a time. You climb the ladder, one step at a time. Ati dukam cha vairagyam bhoga dvaitrinanyame vacha Guru prasada satasanga upaya stajajaye yami. In life, you need a guru. I care what nobody tell you. One fella tell me one day guru stupid. I say, when you Christian with him, you didn't know he stupid? See how I could do, how I could get out of that. It's very simple. Find an educated pundit and get Krishna over. He said, well, you can't do that. I said, you telling me what you could do and what you can't do? I said, well, you know more than me. Fix up. Stay in it. You stay in it. My guru discarded me one day for something I never do. My guru was a man from India, you know. And you know for what reason he hate me. God alone know. Poor fella dead and gone in 1970, and I still don't know why. I was asked to go to the funeral and say, he ain't like me, he ain't going there. He ain't going to know if I come or he ain't come. He done dead. I ain't going. I went and christened over with somebody else. I'm not asking you that, I'm telling you that. I won't tell you who my guru was. The first one. It's ethical for me to tell you that. See, I know who it is. Right? But I won't tell you who it is. I could tell you who the second one was. The second one was a guy named Pandit Gangadhar from Debe. It was my father's cousin. Right? Buru Trace Junction there. Where the doctor have your office, Mavindra. That's Mavindra grandfather. Yeah. And me and he hit it off from day one. We hit it off. Now, why you need a guru? That is the issue. Having a guru is one thing, but why you need it? The Ramayana tells us, Banadavu prathamama Isura charana Moha janita sana Sayasabharana. Because the guru has the ability to take away the doubts in my mind which is born out of ignorance. That is why you need a guru. You need a guru to lie with it to say I'm a guru. Right? If a guru chupid, he don't have no smart chela boy. It's a sad thing. A chupid guru and a boy. In Uttarakhand of the Ramayana says, the guru blind, no, the guru dumb and the chela blind. So a dumb man leading a blind man, that is a recipe for disaster. They both going to hell. You understand? No. Get rid of that doubt which is born out of ignorance. That is what the guru does for you. And the guru ensures that you will be on the path of victory. He will never let you go astray. Don't let nobody fool you. You and your guru go take a drink together, boy. Something adding up about that, boy. Let me don't go there. Let me leave it alone. Abhyasa dobashi kurayan Mano yoga siddhaye Varenya durlabo yogi Vinasya manaso jayat. For accomplishing this discipline, you need to control the mind, O king. Without controlling the mind, you cannot become a yogi. This is not a certificate course. Asanchayatmana yogo dosha prapya iti te mati vashayata manatu yatata shakya vaptu mupayataha. Yoga is difficult without controlling the mind. But yet it could be done. If you say you cannot control the mind, try constant practice. Constant practice and you will get it right. Yogo brashtasya loka gati kimma palambavit Vibho saravagana chinadi sanshayam buddhi chakrabrit. If you cannot accomplish finding God, on which planet you think you go find happiness? Not which part in the world, you know. Which planet you think you could find happiness? No way in the world that could happen. Lord Ganesh says, Debya deha daro yogad brashtasara bhoga muttamam bhaktya yogi kule janama labe chadre matankule. When you try to find God, and for some reason you fall short, you didn't reach, but you're on the road. You understand? When you die, what do you think happens, O king? You think that's the end? That is not the end. I am the one who bhaktya yogi kule janama. I am the one who takes that devotee and put him back in a home where there are righteous people, that he could continue this journey to find me. Punya punya kritamalokan petwa shashwati sama shuchinam shrimatamagehe yogo brashto bijayate. They are born in the home of the prosperous. They are born in the home of the devotee. You never go to homes where people eat meat every day and a child born in the house and never eat. Never touch it. Why? And them idiot can't understand why. Them say he playing pandit. You understand? Fix up. Punarayogi bhavatayeshe sanskarat puravakarmajat nahi punyakritam narakam pratipadyate. When you reach back in this world, all that you have left from the past life, immediately it dawns on you. The scientists call them child prodigy. No 5-year-old child could pick up a sitar. He can't hold it to balance it to start with and play better than Ravi Shankar. When a 5-year-old could pick up a sitar and play it better than Ravi Shankar. Ravi Shankar spent his whole life learning how to play the sitar. Learning how to play it. You know, there was a big event in the 70s called Woodstock. When Ravi Shankar went to Woodstock, because he was a world musician, he spent half an hour tuning the sitar. Half an hour. And when he done tune it, he gets a standing ovation. Could I never hear that before? He said, well, sorry to disappoint all you. I was only tuning it. I never played it yet. You understand? That's how ignorant the world was. So no child could born and in 5 years learn to play it how he did. You ought to bring that with you from the past. And there are many such child prodigies in the world. Many, many of them exist. Atava yoginameva kule bhavati yadhimatam etadi durlabtaramaloke janamaya didisham. And you acquire the knowledge. You acquire the knowledge of what you have left behind. That knowledge don't die. You don't come back and start over from day one again. That is only for one kind of people, foolish people. When a stupid fella dead, he come back stupid again, same speed. So he has no knowledge to start with. He's starting with minus again. Right? But the one who makes the effort to find God, it works the opposite. Tatlatan buddhisana yogam labate pauravadehikam yatate chatato bhoya sanasiddhau kurunandanam. And when you are born back in this world, over in here, the knowledge of the past that you have acquired, that knowledge comes back to you very early in life. Very early. And when that knowledge kicks in, then you begin what is called yato cha tato bhuya, the final journey. That journey is called the final journey. Because when you come back with that knowledge, it only ends in God realization. So the final journey leads you to God realization. Sansiddho kurunandanam. That is the siddha, that is the benefit, O child. Because Ganesh sees everybody as a child, everybody is a child in front of God. Jnana nishtat tapo nishtat karma nishtan naradipaha shreshta yogi shreshta tamo mukti man mayiteshu yaha. 3 efforts the human being has the ability to make. 3 steps. One is called the step of Gyan, the step of knowledge. One is called Karmanishta, the step of karma. And the third one, Dhyananishta, the ability to meditate. When you make the first step to acquire knowledge, that's the first step. The first step is to acquire the knowledge. And to acquire the knowledge, you must be able to perform the karma to acquire the knowledge. So you will do the right thing to get the knowledge. And when you do the right thing and you get the knowledge, then you sit down to meditate on the Supreme. Because there's nothing else for you to do. There is nothing else left for you to achieve. You have already achieved those things. You understand? And when you begin that meditation, Shreshto Yogi Shreshtatama, I will put inside of you, because of your effort, the devotion that you need to go with it. I will give you that. You understand? So it's not you alone making the effort. You do all the groundwork. And I will put the devotion, I will give you the devotion that you need. And that devotion, my devotion, with your meditation, your karma, and your gyan, jivana mukmayiteshu yaha. The end product of that is that you come to the highest level of liberation. So both of us have to do it. People believe that they alone have to sit down and pray and do this and do this and do this, and then they go, you alone can't do it. If God has blessed you to do it, you cannot do it. Don't feel you could do it on your own. You cannot. Nobody could do it on their own. Yeah. Last year when we did the Yagya, I invited 2 pundits. Good friends. Well, one related. Say, when you come a night in the Yagya? Say, sure, no problem. One night you may come. Any night suit you. You okay? So the day my cousin was coming to the Yagya, he called me. He said, well, I'm coming tonight. What kata to prepare? I said, what do you mean by what kata to prepare? He said, well, I'm coming to read. And I said, no. Let me start over. If you want to read when you come, you read where I stop. I have a book on this thing, and you read from that. You started trying to embarrass him. I said, no, but you say you're a reader, come and read. But walk in no thing and tell me about Ganesh have a big belly and a long trunk and a big ass. I have a big ass too, and me and Ganesh. You understand? The second one I invite, say he will only come if he reading. I say, well, the day you invite me in your Monday to read, you could come and read a whole Yagya in my. You understand? They don't understand. This is not about you. You're missing the point. This is not about you. Why you think we spent... Ajora, may I ask you a question? You have any idea how much Ganesh Yagya I read in my lifetime? You have any idea? I worked it out today while I was sleeping in the day. I started to check back. This is number 51. This is my 51st Ganesh Yagya. This is not about Vikram. I do in a Ganesh Yagya home and we sit down to do Hawan the last night. The first person get pushed out from the Hawan is my wife. In my house. She get pushed out. You understand? So I said, that's the end of this. I want to see how much could push out people the last night here. All you come with all this stupidness and push out all you want. These are different environments. Let me see all you. You understand? My children get pushed out. Because it's not for us. We have always maintained that whenever we do this, Shreshta Yogo Shreshta Tama, we will do the best that we could do, that everybody must benefit from it. That is the purpose of doing this. This has nothing to do with me. This has nothing to do with Ajora and Aideen. This has nothing to do with that. This has to do with our ability to try our best, Bhakti Manya Maiteshu Yaha, to make sure that people come on the track to God realization. If you come on the track of God realization, everybody wins. Everybody wins. Yogena mapi saravesham madagatena antaratmana sharavan bhajate yomam sabe yukta tamo mataha. When you start to worship God, nothing is going to distract you. Nothing. You will reach the stage where you have no material to like offer. Right? Like you have no doobras, you have no modak, you have no this, you have no that. Then that devotion, that meditation carries you to a thing that is called Mansa Puja, where the puja is done in your mind. So in your mind, you're offering doobras. In your mind, you're offering modak. You understand? In your mind, you're offering agarbatti. That is what Ganesh is saying. Once I give you the devotion, Shraddha, the faith, Bhajate, in your mind you glorify me, I will make sure you do the puja in your mind, and I will accept the offering that is made. You don't need a million things to offer to God. You need only 4 things. Only 4 things you need to offer to God. Patram pushpam palamatoyam. Leaf. Why leaf? What kind of leaf? I still hear an idiot last night on TV telling me this stupidness. You can't offer tulsi leaf to Ganesh. Right? Where you get that from, boy? He said, well, that is we policy. Who you make policy for Sanatana Dharma? A dummy idiot like you? You could make rules for Sanatana Dharma, boy? You understand? He could come here one night. I saw he come in one night. When he done really 3 nights in Rio Claro, he come in here. Because he want a copy of this. And the only way he could get this, he had to come for it himself. Although he sell Ramesh to ask me for it. Patram, leaf. Leaf is one of the purest things in the world. Pushpam, flower. Flower is one of the purest things in the world. Palam, fruit, one of the purest things in the world. Jalam, water. Water is one of the purest things in the world. Well, now everything contaminated. Devotee, let me explain something simple to you. Fruit has nothing to do with apple and grapes and pear and American plum. That don't come in a sadhu container. That does come in a container that have pork and beef in it. It does come in the same container. Go in the cold storage and see. You have to move the beef crate to get the apple crate. You have plum. Look at fruit. And nobody sitting in this audience could go home tonight with a pen and paper and write down all the fruits that exist in Trinidad. Let me start you off with mango. How much different kind of mango you think Trinidad have? Oh, come, tell me, give me a figure. Let's call a figure. Shut your mouth now, boy. How much mango you think Trinidad have? Different kind. How much you feel? Make a guess, you might guess right. 50? You are even close. You understand? You're not even close. Trinidad have 80 species of mango. 80. India has how much? 800 species of mango. You can't name 10 mango in Trinidad. Don't name the one start with donkey, eh? That's not the name. The name is Top in Time. But it's not donkey. But you understand what I'm saying? We have so much fruits in Trinidad that you could only see apple and grapes and plum. You understand? Go behind the science. See where it's coming from. And then you realize, don't use it. This is why the Gita says, Patram Pushpam Palamatoyam. If you're doing this in January, whatever fruit is available in January, that is what you offer. You're doing it in September, whatever fruit is available in September, that is the fruit you offer. And let me tell you something most people don't tell you. People talk about modak. One of the key ingredients in modak is what? Anybody, make a guess. Will never guess right. Salt. But you can't put, Baba, you can't put salt in. Hey, you want to eat it? Hey, bye, don't eat it. Nah. You understand? One of the key ingredients in modak is salt. But something wrong with that, boy. We can't use salt. You understand? You make foolish rules that you cannot defend. Let the scriptures guide you. The scriptures have the recipe. So follow it. Yoginam api saravesham madagate nantaratmana sharavan bhajate yomam same yukto tamo mataha. When you worship me with all the disciplines and all the self-sacrifices that you have made, you are trying to accomplish one thing, and that is devotion, and you could never get that. I have to give you that. You have to earn that. And when you do the discipline, you earn it. And when you earn it, I give it to you. And when I give you that devotion, in return now, Same Yuktatamo Mataha, I consider you to be the best yogi that exists. The one that is blessed by me because of the sacrifices that he has made to uplift humanity. I consider such an individual to be the best. Bolo Shri Ganesh and Bhagavan Ki Jai. We will stop there for tonight. I was reading an article for last year Ganesh Yagya. I went to do a Hawan on Monday. Navin, right? Navin had just come back from a flight. And it's something I never know. That when you sit down in the plane and you pull the little cupboard in front of you, it does have a book. You could take that book. The book is free. I didn't know that. That one. I should always read it. I should try to follow the crossword puzzle and think, plain bright now. But I never knew it was free until Navin gave me one last year. So I say, why you bring that for me? You thief that. He said, no, look at mark on the book. Free. I said, okay. I said, so why you bring that? He said, have an article, I want you to read in it. I said, really? About what? He said, Lord Ganesh. I said, okay, give me the book. So I opened it up. I have a knack. Trust me if I tell you this one. I have a knack at any book I have in my possession. Once I open the book, I could find the mistake. I have a knack for doing that. And from the time I opened the book, the first thing I found was a mistake. I said, this can't be true. Not in this 21st century. I'll bring it for you tomorrow. I'll read it for you tomorrow and see if I could find the mistake. And we buy that hook, line, and sinker. You understand? People who you think smart. I learned something a long time ago, boy. Book sense sometimes is just as good as no sense. They book smart. Then go to cross the road, they'll get knocked down. They can't cross the road. They have book sense. They don't have common sense. They don't have what is called street sense. And you know my daughter? My daughter has street sense. She could survive anyway. Bright and she could survive. You have street sense. You have to teach them how to survive. Don't expect that your child is going to survive because it's your son, he will survive. Really? You believe that does work? That don't work. That has turned out to be the biggest cokehead. You have to be at them all the time, and that is what Ganesh is driving into your head. This is not something I'm going to teach you, and you practice, and that's the end of it. No. You still have to depend upon me to give you the bhakti that you want. What you're praying for. Make the effort. And when I am satisfied that you deserve it, I will give it to you. And when I give it to you, it is as good as being liberated from the bondage of birth and death. Bolo Shri Ganesh and Bhagavan Ki Jai. All will stand as we join together in singing the arti. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Om Jaya Ganapati Deva. Prabhu Jai Ganapati Deva. Begana Vinashana Swami. Begana Vinashana Swami. Sukha Sampati Deva. Om Jai Ganapati Deva. Parvati Putra Kahavo. Shankara Sutta Swami. Prabhu Shankara Sutta Swami. Gajananda Gananaya. Gajananda Gananaya. Bhaktanayanugami. Om Jai. Edi Sedi Ke Malik Mushakaya Savari. Prabhu Mushakaya Savari. Kar jore vinati kare. Kar jore vinati आरती करे आनंद युसवारी। ओम जय। प्रथम आपको पूजत शुभ मंगल दाता, प्रभु शुभ मंगल दाता। से दिगो ये सब कारक, से दिगो ये सब कारक, दरिद्र हत जाता। ओम जय। सुंदर सुंदला दुंद दुंदला, मस्तक पर चंदा, प्रभु मस्तक पर चंदा। कारज सिद्ध करावो, कारज सिद्ध करावो, का तो सब फंदा। ओम जय। गणपति जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे, प्रभु जो कोई नर गावे। दादू का बावती, दादू का बावती, निश दिन सुख पावे। ओम जय। जय गणपति देवा, प्रभु जय गणपति देवा। विघ्न विनाशन स्वामी, विघ्न विना सुख संपत्ति देवा। ओम जय। ओम जय गणपति देवा। ओम जय गणपति देवा। ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। सियापति रामचंद्र की जय। जगत जननी श्री दुर्गा माता की जय। बोलो सनातन धर्म की जय। Devotees, you may kindly take your seats.